Hello everyone and welcome to my second of the advice videos for Global's Votive launch. Hey, I got through the title just fine. That's a good start to a video. Also, just a friendly reminder that March 22nd will be the new JP live stream. So if you're looking on Global and wondering where you should be spending your resources long into the future, come check it out. There's probably going to be some unit announcements and they're probably going to be Final Fantasy VII related. Probably. You know. I've been wrong before. But thankfully, I can give you some good advice when it comes to things in Votive to make your beginning of the game hopefully a little bit smoother. And today we're going to be talking about shops, skills, and investments. All things that are really important. And as such, today let's start with shops. Shops are very important in the game. They can provide you with some good options for getting character shards or equipment, or, well, I should say recipes for equipment, or other things. Now, before I start saying anything, here's the biggest rule of all. Almost anything in the shop that has a lapis cost, when it comes to anything other than character shards, should be avoided like the plague. Take a look, for example, in here. When it comes right down to it, hey, maybe you need some yellow orbs. Yellow orbs for lapis, you can farm these very quickly. For 6 stamina, you can basically get 2 of these, almost guaranteed every time. Do not ever spend lapis with this. And when it comes to special shops, there will always be UR orbs. Whenever there is a UR orb, a rainbow shard orb, which literally is exactly what I said, just one of these, that is for gold, always buy it. When there are skip tickets you can buy, always buy them. Okay, now that I've got that insanity out of the way, when it comes to these, anything that is freed lapis usually feels pretty bad, like a scam. 2,000 lapis for a UR orb and some summon tickets for the flames and whatnot that you need to upgrade characters. I can almost guarantee that I would always never ever buy these. For instance, these rainbow EXP orbs, probably the worst way you can spend 2,000 lapis. I don't even know why this is still an option in the game other than a beginner's trap. You just don't ever do this. The bundles as well are absolutely horrible. So, like I have said, unless it's character shards, don't spend lapis in these shops. But let's take a look at some other things. So, character shards is something that refreshes. It refreshes every 6 hours, and once per day you will have the option to refresh the shop. As you can see, I have my first one available here. We'll do it in just a second. Taking a look at what's currently in the shop, 10 ketone shards. Basically, almost all characters in the game have a going rate of 10 of their shards for 500 lapis. You can normally farm a lot of character shards other than special collaborations such as Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy XIV units or seasonal units. Most characters in the game, you can farm their character shards. Ketone, I am currently farming her shards. I have 186 currently, and I need a whole bunch more. If Ketone was a primary focus for me, I would absolutely buy these shards. But I'm just on the slow roll farm for her, so not super important. However, once per day, you have the option of re-rolling this shop, and let's just do it for free. As you can see, downgraded a little bit, but got a different character that maybe I want to buy her shards for. I don't, but it serves the purpose. It also refreshes other things. When it comes to recipes, at the beginning of the game, you will have very little in the way of recipes and equipment. These will seem like really good deals. Don't bother. They will show up in events later, and then you can get these recipes just by doing the event, so I don't recommend it. Now, excuse me, you can actually refresh the shop multiple times, but as you go up, it starts costing more and more lapis. Like it costs 10, and then it costs, I think, 30 or 50, and at a certain point, it's not overly worth it. So I don't really overly recommend doing the shop too much. Just check in 4 times a day when you can, and it'll give you some different options. Now, there is also the premium shop. This is basically spending money to get things such as UR orbs and rainbow shards and lapis. Basically, my general rule when spending money in this game is that this bundle shop is much better than just buying flat lapis. Flat lapis in the game just isn't good value. The bundles at least give you something extra for basically the same price, so these are better comparatively. But that doesn't mean that I think that they are overall great a lot of the time. When it comes right down to it, this is probably one of the general better values because you are getting the 5,000 paid lapis, but you're also getting things that you need, in particular being 5 UR orbs, which are important for awakening characters of the highest ranking, and 2 rainbow orbs, or rainbow rocks, which are also incredibly important too. So yeah. Now, when it comes to event shops, these are almost always the first thing you want to look for are UR orbs or rainbow rocks that are gold only. Always buy these. I don't care what you got to do, go farm gold, but you always buy these. And again, skip tickets, you just want to keep a nice stock of these because they're generally nice. Other than that, you can make the decision if you want to spend your resources that you will, but again, general rule, don't ever spend lapis in these shops. It's just a general rule. Whenever there is an event, there will always be a character shop as well. Taking a look right here, we have one for the Ketone and Engelbert banner. This one has shards, 40 shards apiece, a kind of a nice deal if I was looking to get these characters. Basically, that's just kind of the going rate for those. But these shops will always have extra shards for characters which you need to awaken and will help you speed through the process. They're basically, when you get that new UR character, you're almost always going to want to get these. It can be bought with free lapis. Don't use paid lapis for them. Just wait and find a way to get extra lapis. But those are the shops. So now let's move on and talk about skills, as I've noticed that here. Oop. Just a minor correction. Anyway. Let's talk about character skills, because character skills are an incredibly important and an incredibly expensive thing. Let's take a look at Vanessa, for example, a newer character that I've been raising that I want to get her skills up to a high level. When it comes right down to it, you have your passives, your counter, as well as your limit burst, all needing levels, and then there is also her abilities too. There are a lot of abilities. Almost all greens have costs to increase them. This one is evasion, for example, or her attack bits. The higher you increase them, the more damage they do. There may be a certain amount of casting change that is involved. We really need some more data miners in the community to understand just how important they are. But as a ability goes up, the gold cost and the job point cost goes up quite a bit too. To the final one, level 20 being approximately, I do believe, getting pretty close to or around 2,000 job points, which is actually a fair bit. And even then, you still need a good amount of job points to unlock all the other abilities you're missing. But, sorry, still a little sick. Anyway, when it comes to skills, unlocking specific skills is important. If you take, for instance, this skill, a 20% attack increase, obviously very important. Whereas this passive is a speed up as well as a defense piercer. All of these things are very important for this character who is based around damage piercing, but the more skills you unlock can be potentially a detriment. For instance, unlocking this skill right now may change a character's AI. AI in the game is just something that your character does in both Arena as well as Guild Wars, where the character is not controlled, and if you're using the auto lap function or just the auto button, characters are going to be based on their AI, and characters can choose things that are just not preferable in terms of what your goals may be of trying to clear it fast. So unlocking a character's abilities can be detrimental to the AI, and you have to be really careful about which ones you pick, but also realize that to get to the outer reaches of a character's grid, you're going to have to break a few eggs to make an omelet here. Take, for example, Arise. Now, Arise is a skill that I have currently up to job level 10. It is a raise ability. It is very, very important for, just bringing a character back who has died. Obviously, everyone knows what that is. So currently at level 10, it's going to take 138 job points, but let's see how it changes as it goes up. And it's going to be just going up, 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 up. Okay, about 1,000 to max it out. Sorry, I said it was about 2,000. But still, this is pretty expensive. And as you can see, I've already used about 2 million gold as well to get one ability. This is what I mean by skills and also investment too. You have to be careful about where you are investing your job points and your gold. Gold is needed to upgrade a lot of different stuff in the game. As from anything from your cards to your abilities to just spending on buying stuff for resources that you need for your characters. Gold is used in a lot of different places. And a lot of job points, 6,000 job points, may have seemed like a lot to somebody, but guess what? Upgrading certain abilities, that disappears incredibly fast, as well as my gold, which for the sake of this video, now I'm farther away from that 100 million gold. I don't know, don't need to, but I just want to. Anyway, comes right down to it. How you invest in your skills and abilities is, and will be forever an important decision, not only for just what you have access to for when you're playing, but also what your characters will do. Characters have a really bad habit of focusing on specific skills that you don't want. Ayaka, for example, is generally a healer, but a lot of the times she ends up focusing on just casting Shell a million times on herself or another character because the AI isn't really that good in this game. You'll find out what I mean eventually. But anyway, Ayaka's secondary job is almost universally chosen as being Time Mage. Time Mage gives her access to Comet, Meteor, and that pairs nicely with her White Mage ultimate ability of Holy. All of these abilities give Ayaka not only does she have healing options, but she also has damage options. I'll talk about that more in her review. But on the way up, I did unlock something like Immobilize. And Ayaka, as a Time Mage / White Mage, loves to try and immobilize the enemy. She almost prefers that in terms of than just healing your own damn characters. It's kind of funny. You have a Comet ability that can kill the enemy. Nah, you're just going to spam Immobilize. But what you unlock to a character can change how that character's performance is, so you should definitely be careful about what abilities you unlock and what abilities you don't unlock. But investment goes beyond that, because investment is also about how you develop your characters. Taking a look at Ayaka right now, I'm pretty close to getting her up to a full TMR level. In other words, meaning I've limit breaked her up to level 5, and as well, I've awakened her. So, not the best character to show off exactly what I mean. Let's go down a level and take a look at Ketone. Ketone, I do have the resources to actually break her into LB4. That would give her a TMR spot, which I could potentially put another character's TMR on her and make her stronger. But, big question, is that good value? I would have to spend 2 of my UR orbs that I could be spending on another character that is more useful for me. So even though I currently have the resources to spend here, I don't want to, because in the long term, it's just not good value. Taking, for example, a character like Y'shtola, which I thought was going to be really good at the start, spending a fair amount of Rainbow Rocks on her to get her TMR'd, where her TMR has not been useful for me because my pulls have been mostly physical DPS. I have not gotten Medenia, so I don't have good magic options. Y'shtola has been a fairly overall bad investment in the long run. But she is one of my favorite characters of all of Final Fantasy, so she's been a good investment. Anyway, how you and where you choose to spend your resources, not only for that, but also limit breaking is important. Character shards are unit specific, so it doesn't really matter here if I do that, so long as I'm breaking the characters, I'm getting, you know, better value from them. But let's also show off Awakening. Again, Ketone here is a character that I probably have intention of using into the future, but to awaken her from a 5-star to a 6-star, meaning that she has access to all of her best abilities on the farthest outreaches of the ring, will take 10 UR orbs, 150 of the stones, which are gotten from Chocobo, and the flames, which are farmed up, 150 earth flames, which I have 500. I don't know, I just don't do that many earth characters, I guess. The Awakening Flames, which are just farmed as well. That's not so much of a big deal. But also 5 Rainbow Rocks. And yes, currently I do have a lot of Rainbow Rocks, but there was a time where I was really hurting for Rainbow Rocks, and now I'm hurting for UR Orbs too. Even if I was to get another UR Orb very quickly right now, I would not be spending it on Ketone because I definitely do not want to use it on Ketone, because my current goals, it is much better for me to invest in one of my current strongest characters, who I'm also about to TMR. Yes, there will be more UR orbs that I can get in the future, and if I wanted to, I could probably pull, and maybe I get a duplicate of a UR character and get that other UR orb I need. But regardless, hanging on to your some of the Awakening materials for a long can be much better in the long term than just short-term good feeling of awakening a character that you may not end up using. To that extent, how you invest both your skill points, your gold, and into your characters is really valuable at the start of WOTOV, and you should definitely think about which characters you want to invest in as opposed to which characters you don't. Trust me, it will save you a lot of grief in the long run when you're waiting for that next event with more Rainbow Rocks and more UR Orbs. So that's my advice when it comes to this. I also still have to talk about a few other things. I've covered other stuff lightly, but next video we'll be taking a look at some more characters. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. And I'm going to be listening to this main menu Brave Exvius music for a while, because I got a lot of videos to make. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.